table sitting on. And, here I am coming to you from my home studio, which is a joke because this is my dining room, which is a fancy way to say it's my kitchen, which is also the playroom. And I'm sharing this because I know that all of us across the world, literally, globally, are navigating, new circumstances. And what a gift that we have this practice, because in fact, this is what our practice does. It asks us and teaches us and trains us to be able to navigate new circumstances, from posture to posture on the mat and day to day in life. And I want you to remember that you have been training for this. Whatever this is in your personal life, in the walls of your own home, this is what you've been training for. And so we've all got this. We'll take Gyan Mudra, pointer finger and thumb tip touch. And I know a lot of you know this is wisdom mudra. Let's take the palms to rest open on top of the thighs and let the eyes close. And as the eyes close, it's right away this turning inward. And the mudra in the hands is this beautiful way to ritualize the truth of who we are, which is wise and resilient and skillful. So begin with quiet and still, so that you have this sacred, holy moment to check in with you and become aware of what is current for your energy and the space of your heart. And whatever it is that you find in this landing, of course, is not a problem. Even if you're anxious or you're tired or you're excited or you're caffeinated, anywhere on the spectrum of being human, please welcome yourself, all of you, to your practice. This passage is from Rolf Gates' book, Meditations and Intentions on Being. And, these go-to passages that I often reference are all taking on a new and more profound meaning these days. So keep the eyes closed as you open your ears and have a listen. When do I practice? I find it wise to keep in mind that I am practicing for a reason. That there will be a moment when I can make a choice out of my conditioned reactivity, or I can make a choice that I have practiced, a choice that reflects my highest aspirations, my core values and beliefs. I have come to understand that it will matter to me and to those I love which choice I make. We practice in good times so that we will have the momentum to practice in the bad times. We practice when it is easy so that when things are hard, we still will practice. We practice in a safe, controlled setting so that when it is scary and uncertain, we will know what to do. We practice in the light what we wish to remember in the dark. And this, of course, is why our practice is just that, a practice, and it's one that we must really commit to, and it looks different every day. It doesn't involve a yoga mat most of the time. Let's take a full breath in together. Fill the lungs, sit up tall. Open the mouth as you let the breath empty out. And again, landing. So we're warriors, we're the gods, we're the goddesses, right here on the battlefield of our own lives. And our practice reminds us that we got this. Our practice also means that we're not just hanging on for dear life all the time, but it reminds us to see goddess energy of Kali and Durga. Just listening. Jaya Mata Kali, Jaya Mata Durga, Jaya Mata Kali, Jaya Mata Durga. Try it with me. Jaya Mata Kali, Jaya Mata Durga, Jaya Mata Kali, Jaya Mata Durga. Just listen. Kali Durga, Namo Namo. Kali Durga, Namo Namo. Everyone. Kali Durga, Namo Namo. Kali Durga, Namo Namo. From the top. Jaya Mata Kali, Jaya Mata Durga, Jaya Mata Kali, Jaya Mata Durga. Here we go. Kali Durga, Namo Namo. Kali Durga, Namo Namo. Take a full breath in. Feel the body fill. Tall, awake. Open the mouth as you exhale and let the breath empty. Bring your palms to press now on your next inhale. Sit up tall, Anjali Mudra. And again, open the mouth as you allow the breath to empty. And then stay here and don't move, so that if your energy has shifted, you may feel a little more awake. You can handle it, right? Whatever shifts the body had, you can handle it. Let us start in child's pose, please. If you have any props, just set them off to the side to start. If you don't have yoga blocks at home, of course, you can grab a sturdy book or something. They're not necessary, but as we take our first shape, what's necessary, of course, is your breath. So sink your sit bones low toward your heels. The big toes can touch. As you lengthen your arms long, and if your forehead can rest down on the mat, great. Start to breathe in through the nose and fill the back of the body. So you begin to direct your breath. Breathing out through the nose, allow the breath to softly, unhurriedly settle out. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out. Rise onto your hands and your knees. And get a good frame going on, so your wrist creases right under the center of your shoulder and the knees are right under the hips. As we draw the sit bones high, drop the belly, let the heart move forward, throat opens, cow pose. And as you exhale, cat your spine, lift the back of the heart through the shoulder blades, chin into the throat. One more time, breathing in, look forward, even pressing the tops of the feet down. As you exhale, cat spine, tailbone moves into the body. This time as you inhale, send your right leg long behind you. Let the toes hover above the mat and really feel a lift from the inseam of your right thigh. Don't pause your breath, just your body. Take one more breath in. And then as you breathe out, bend your right knee, heel to glute. So it's a hamstring curl. Igniting the back of the leg. Take another breath in. Let the heart lift a little bit. And as you exhale, draw your right knee to your right elbow. And then start to make some wide circles with your right thigh bone. So waking up into the hip joint. getting the synovial fluid moving in the body. Take 2 or 3 circles in the other direction and see how stable you can keep your pelvis and keep your shoulders so you're not too wobbly. And then right leg long behind you again. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, bring your right knee into your nose, cat your spine, and step your foot between your thumbs. Top of your left foot, back foot, presses down as you stretch your arms forward and up. And then let your shoulders relax. Climb the navel up into the spine so you really feel connected to your center. And then as you exhale, let the hands come down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your left knee, peek your heart forward. And then as you exhale, start to lengthen both legs for an early pyramid pose variation. So you can keep your back heel lifted. And then fingertips on the ground or hands to blocks as you lengthen your spine forward. As you exhale, bow the torso forward and down and really let the head relax. So from the back of the skull, you feel the brain empty on out. Inhale, bend your front knee, look forward. Step to a plank pose. Back of the mat, the feet will meet and the heart will beam forward. You'll notice that I'm modifying for wrist pain and I'm on my fists. If you've got that going on, you can check out the same. Take another breath in, kneecaps lifted, legs engaged, and then in one piece, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Tent your fingertips wide off of your mat onto whatever surface you're on. Elbows lift above the wrists. Wide cobra variation. As you inhale, loop the shoulders up. And then as you exhale, draw the shoulders back and down to lift your heart. Take another breath in, big like the hood of a cobra. And as you exhale, dip your right shoulder and look over to your left. Big breath here. So inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, other side. One more time on your own, breathing and moving, getting the front of the chest open, getting that heart space wide open. Let's meet in child's pose. There's no rush. Rise through center, and as you lay your heart down, think forward and down, and then palms to the mat, hips to the heels. Inhale to the exhale. Let's try one together. Breathe in and breathe out. Rise onto your hands and knees, setting yourself up for success. A good frame, shoulders, wrists. Inhale, lift the sit bones, drop the belly, widen the collarbones as you look forward. And exhale, climb the tail into the body, lift the back of the heart, chin into the throat. Right away, left leg will go long behind you as you breathe in. Lengthen through the throat and stabilize first so we're strong. And we can really adapt quite quickly as humans. Bend your left knee, heel to glute. Sometimes you gotta kick your own butt, right? So bring your heel to your glute, take a breath in. As you breathe out, left knee to your left elbow. And then draw those big circles. Whatever direction you begin is all good. Finding a little bit of smoothness in the breath. As you shift the direction of your circles, stirring the thigh bone into the hip socket. Re-lengthen your left leg behind you. Re-lengthen your spine. On your breath out, knee in toward your eyelashes. Really dome the back of the heart, and then step your foot between your thumbs. Tent your fingers for a moment. Press the top of the back foot down as you stretch your arms forward and up. Set your sights, set your gaze. Right away, you have the focus of this warrior energy. Climbing the belly up and in, relaxing the shoulders, and the whole throat feels open to receiving prana. Breathe in. Exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot, tuck your right toes, and lift your right knee. Still get a forward trajectory of the heart as you exhale, lengthening both legs and tipping the hips high. Take a halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward and down with the spine as you empty out. Remember, not straighten the legs necessarily, but lengthen, plugging the ball of the left foot in for one more breath in, and full breath out. Rebend your front knee, heart and eyes look slightly forward, Palms to the ground, plank pose. As you step back, think heart moves forward so you can move in all directions. Warrior, powerful. Breathe in and lower down. Elbows graze the side ribs. One time each side, wide cobra. Tent the fingers, lift the elbows, rise. Lift the heart, shrug the shoulders back. As you exhale, dip the right shoulder, look to the left. Through center, breathe in. Left shoulder dips as you breathe out. Just let this feel really good. And then rise through center, inhale. Lay your heart and chest forward and down as you breathe out. Downward facing dog, take your time. You can press your hands and knees or press your plank pose. And then let's move just a little bit to wake up the body. Whatever time it is where you are, whether it's afternoon or some of my friends here on this side of the planet, it's the morning. Whenever I start my yoga classes, I sometimes accidentally say good morning because it just feels like such a fresh start. So take a fresh breath in through your nose. Stick out your tongue, Kali breath, ha, as you exhale. One more time like that, breathe in. Ha, la, 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 let it out. Good, now lift your heels and bend your knees as you look forward and tiptoe your feet to the top of your mat. And take a halfway lift as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, slowly bow and empty. Slowly roll up to stand. Let the heels stay heavy as the tailbone also stays heavy. And with a heavy tailbone, then the rest of the spine can stack, the head last. Stretch your arms up as you breathe out. And take a curtsy of the right foot behind the left. Bring the arms behind you and lay your chest low. Palms will come down to the ground as you step the right foot to the back of the mat and lunge. Downward facing dog. This is your exhale breath. Plank pose takes you forward as you inhale. You can lower halfway or all the way, breathing out. Upward facing dog or cobra. Strong legs. Open the heart. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take your right leg to the sky as you breathe in. Step your right foot forward between your thumbs. Look forward, step forward, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow and fold. Again, it's a roll. You can move a little faster this time, but let your arms stay so heavy. And then inhale, stretch your arms up. Curtsy, left foot behind you as you breathe out. Hands to the ground, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Plank pose as you inhale, come forward, and then lower all the way or halfway, but definitely it's your exhale, so you can wait for your inhale to find your heart opener, cobra or up dog, downward facing dog as you breathe out. Left leg to the sky, breathe it in. Exhale, step forward as you breathe out. Look forward, right foot meets your left, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow and fold. Rise all the way up, this time flat back, wide arms takes you tall, breathing in. Exhale, take it right back down, folding forward. Right foot steps back, inhale, heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plank pose, breathe in. Lower, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, heart open, strong legs, safer back bend. Downward facing dog, breathe it out. Right leg to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, step your foot forward as you breathe out. Step forward, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow, fold. Flat back, wide arms, takes you all the way up to stand, breathe in. Prayer through heart, all the way back down, breathe it out. Left foot steps back, heart forward, inhale. Downward facing dog, hips high as you breathe out. Plank to chaturanga, you know the way, keep breathing. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky as you breathe in. Take your time. Step forward as you breathe out. Look forward, step forward, breathe in. Breathe all the way out to empty. This time chair pose, bend your knees. Stretch your arms forward, Gyan Mudra. Pointer finger to thumb. Come back to that inner resource of wisdom. Call upon your strength right now. Knees are bent, they're not passing the toes. Feel the weight in the heels so you're not gripping your toes down on the mat. Take another full breath into the whole waist, fill the back body. And then exhale, pour forward and down, empty. Halfway lift to prepare, you can hop back to low plank or step to high plank. Take another vinyasa or meet us in downward facing dog. Find your breath. Knowing that the vinyasa is always optional, you know, the whole thing is optional really. Breath is your requirement, so let's try that together. Breathe in and breathe out. Send your right leg to the sky behind you. Inhale. Step your foot forward between your thumbs. It's warrior two to set up. Back heel will seal down as you rise. Front heel and back arch, draw a line. Would bisect if you drew a line. Open the arms and relax your shoulders. Let your gaze come over your front middle finger so you have a place of focus. All these little tools to focus the mind. Take your left arm behind your back for a half bind, peaceful warrior. Stretch up and back, big reverse. Keep the half bind, extended side angle lunge, right forearm to the thigh. Keep the half bind so left arm stays behind you, and then re-wrap your left shoulder onto the back. Left shoulder blade onto the back, and then feel the tailbone move toward your left heel, and the throat gets long. The chin stays connected to the throat. Stay in your legs. Front knee is over front ankle. As you lengthen your right arm forward, underneath your right ear. You gotta use your strength here, warriors. And then rise, lift the torso up, and start to lengthen your front leg. Lift your right toes, stay with me. Turn your right toes forward. Left toes pivot to the back of the mat, warrior two. Open both arms. Facing the back of your mat now, reorganize, recalibrate. Breathe in and breathe out. Reverse your warrior. Back arm drops, left arm lifts. Triangle pose. Take your time as you start to lengthen your left leg. Think outer right hip draws behind you as you take the left hand to a block, to the ground, or to your shin. Stretch your right arm to the sky. And it's the same. Tailbone moves into the body, so shoulders can slightly move back. The gaze can come up toward the top hand if that feels okay for your neck, and then check in with your breath. That's your compass. Lets you know if you're still here. Stretch your right arm over your right ear. And then move your right bicep in front of your face. Right fingertips to the ground. Wide angle forward fold. Pivot your left toes in. Prasarita. Take a halfway lift. Extend the spine and the throat. Breathe out the mouth. Bow and fold. To the front of your mat, low lunge, and it's plank to chaturanga, or you leave the vinyasa out. So take what will wake you up. You know, it should look kind of different every time. If you're totally tuned in to what's present, to what you need. Left leg to the sky, focused. Step forward, warriors. Seal your back heel. Virabhadrasana 2. And this word vira means hero. Warrior, warrior 2. Arms open, but also the shoulder blades plug onto the back. Settle into your breath. Take a half bind, right forearm behind the back. Flip the left palm, peaceful warrior, big reverse. Keep your half bind, extended side angle, left forearm to the top of the left thigh. Stabilize in the feet, adjust if you need to. Drawing the tailbone into the body, open the chest. Feel like the collarbone spread, and make sure you're not dumping into your left collarbone. Keep the half bind, and take your left arm under your left ear. Powerful legs and even the belly hugs to the spine, core. As you lengthen the front leg, stand up, reach your left arm up. Lift your left toes and pivot them in. Right toes pivot out to the back of the mat, warrior 2. So a little fancy footwork today. Reverse your warrior, breathe in, peaceful, stretch up and back. Triangle pose, Trikonasana, left leg long, ball of the left foot plugs down. And then left hand lands on your shin, the ground. Sometimes the back of the left hand on the inner shin works as a nice leverage to keep peeling the chest open so you feel a little bit of a twist action here. Let us all take the left arm over the left ear. This is your inhale. Left bicep moves down in front of your face. Wash your fingertips to the ground as you pivot your left toes in. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Breathe out the mouth to exhale and bow. To the front of your mat, it's low lunge and you know what to do. Move like yourself. The sound of your breath is your biggest priority. We'll meet in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And make sure in your down dog your knees aren't locked out. So there's just a baby bend. Maybe nobody can see it, but you can feel the sit bones reaching high. Right leg to the sky. Inhale. Warrior two, arrive. Calculated and precise, but not rigid. Right? Half bind left arm behind you. Front arm tips up. Peaceful warrior. Now stay here and drop your right arm behind your back, like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. Gomukhasana arms. You can take the bind behind your heart, wiggling the left fingers toward the right. Maybe they meet, maybe no way at all. Either way, lift your right elbow, stretch a little more into your peaceful warrior, and then keep the bind as you start to tip your right elbow forward, tip your torso forward, heading toward extended side angle. You can let the left elbow come inside the left thigh, and to keep the half bind or find a full bind, letting the chest stay broad. Right arm weaves underneath the right thigh. Plug the left foot down and make sure your chin is slightly plugged into your throat. Keep the prana in the body. Take another breath in and another breath out. Keep the left arm behind your back and stretch your right arm forward. Stretch all the way up. Lengthen your front leg. Pivot your right toes in. Your left toes out. Warrior two to the back of your space. Reverse your warrior. Inhale, up and back. Feel the up. And then triangle pose as you transition. Trikonasana. Plug the ball of your left foot in. Even think hips slightly forward, shoulders slightly back. Stretch your right arm over your right ear. This time, hands will come to frame your left foot at the back of the mat, low lunge. Lift your right heel. Side plank, right arm is your base as you pivot to the outer edge of your right foot. Variations, of course, are to keep your right knee down on the ground, or even step your left foot in front of you halfway down the mat. Wherever you are, tailbone long. Legs engaged by lifting your kneecaps. Left arm to the sky. Take another full breath in. Lift your top leg and tap your toes behind you. Have a little wild thing moment. Lift your pelvis. Stay with me, you guys. Take another big breath in. And then exhale, lower your seat to hover. Or maybe it comes all the way down. Gyan Mudra. And then right where you are, inhale, lift your pelvis. Lift your mudra. Exhale, seat hovers. Or you have a seat, and then rise right back up. Take a breath in. Last time, as you exhale, sink down low. Hop back onto your mat, scoot it over, but keep the orientation of your legs. So left knee bent, left foot to the ground, and then widen your left foot just a little bit so the toes angle out toward the top left corner of your mat. Find your right arm, right fingertips tent behind you. Lift your left arm, so press the backhand to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, tip forward. Think left fingertips are reaching past your right toes, and then bind. Left arm around your front of the left shin. And maybe the right hand reaches around and meets. Maybe no way, Jose. Whatever your circumstance is, you can handle it. Everyone lift your chest just a little bit. Think about getting long. And then as you exhale, bow forward, heart forward and down. This is Marichyasana A. Marichyasana A. Keeping the heart moving forward. And of course, Marichi was one of our great sages, warriors. All of these stories of the heroes who came before us, now we're the heroes. Lift your heart, take a full breath in, sit up. Hands behind you for altar pose, feet to the ground. Lift your pelvis, big with your breath in. Lion's breath out the mouth. Sink your seat to the ground and hop on your boat. Let the heels lift. Hands could even stay behind you, but for sure, lift your sternum. Climb the belly up. Maybe the arms make sure your face is relaxed so you're not gripping. Your eyeballs aren't gripping, your mouth isn't gripping. You can hear your breath for one more in and one more out. Hands to the back of your thighs, rock forward and back. As long as that feels okay on your spine, we'll meet in chair pose at the top of the mat. Feet to the ground. Maybe you even get a little momentum that you don't need to use your hands. Are we all there? Yeah, nobody's in a hurry to get to chair pose, right? That's okay, I'm with you. Take a full breath, lower back, widen. Stay for your exhale. Stand on your right foot. Bring your left knee to your chest. Gaze faces forward, tree pose. Left hand to the shin to welcome. Left foot to inner right leg. And then, Gyan Mudra with the hands. If you're feeling wobbly today, you could bring your hands to prayer at the heart or even hands to hips for a little bit of extra grounding. Relax your shoulders. Wisdom of the breath. Be sure you can hear it for one more inhale. Tailbone's heavy, spine is long. As you exhale, curtsy. Step your left foot behind you and keep your mudra as you bow your heart forward and down. Hands to the ground. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Right leg to the sky as you breathe in. Bend your right knee, stack your pelvis open. Option to flip your dog, or you can stay with the bent knee. Lifting through the pelvis, big yawn of the front body. We'll hook up in three-legged dog, right leg to the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, step your right foot outside your right hand. Left foot outside your left hand. Have a seat, squat pose, malasana. I'm going to flip to face you. Tailbone down, and then the elbows can come to the inner knees to widen the collarbones. So wherever you are, you've got the compass of your heart to lead the way. Take your left fingertips to the ground. On the inside of the left leg, left arm reaches. Take a twist, right arm to the sky. And then keep your shoulders out of your ears. Half bind, right arm behind your back. All right, check it out. You can take the left arm forward and around the left thigh. It's that same bind we just practiced seated. Now we're just a little funkier. Okay, let's breathe in. As you breathe out, look down. Heel toe your right foot more to the center of your mat and lift your left heel. Lift your butt a little bit. Pressing down with the right foot, see if you can stand up with your bind. If you can't keep the bind, no problem. Take your left hand to your left shin. If you've got the bind, stand up with your heart proud. With your heart as your compass. Standing Marichyasana, full breath. Tree pose is another great option. As you breathe out, start to bend your right knee, standing knee, and think butt back as your right knee moves forward slightly, and then land right where you came from, back to Squatsville. Toes out, heels in, Anjali Mudra. Let's take a hallelujah breath together. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Hands to the ground as you breathe in to prepare. You can hop back to Chaturanga, low plank, high plank. Breathe, Vinyasa. Make it yours. Beautiful focus, everyone. And then just like that, we focus again, left leg long, inhale. Left foot steps forward as you breathe out, and you're not in a rush, but you're able to shift gears quickly. Warrior two. Relax your shoulders. Half bind, right arm behind you. Reverse your warrior, so stay low in your legs. Left arm stretches up and back. And then bend your left elbow, give yourself a pat on the back. Please, yes, remind yourself you're doing a good job. And then maybe, baby, your right fingers crawl to meet your left. And you've got Gomukhasana arms tipping into peaceful warrior. Take a full breath in. And then keep the arms as you tip your left elbow forward. Think that that's leading the way, stretching the torso long. Left elbow to the inner left thigh for side angle. With the bind, half bind, full bind, no bind, breath. Breath, breath, breath. Open your heart. Hear your breath in, slow your breath out. Keep your right arm behind you. Stretch your left arm forward. Call on your strength, internal strength. As you rise all the way up, left arm leads you. Lengthen your front leg, pivot left toes in. Right toes out to the back of the mat. Vira, Vajrasana 2. Hero, reverse your warrior. Inhale. Peaceful. Triangle pose, take your time. Reach forward, forward, forward with your left hand before bringing it down, and then opening the right arm. Opening your left arm to the sky, right hand to the ground, and with the right hand on the ground or your shin, use that as leverage to grow your right waist longer. Left arm over your left ear, low lunge to the back of your mat, left heel lifts, and take a moment to get stable so you're not on your way somewhere else. Shape to shape, present. Side plank, shift, left arm is your base. And in Sanskrit, this is Vashisthasana. Vashista, another great sage. Right? All of these teachers, all of these heroes and warriors, just like us. Take any variation with the legs that you need and feel the low belly lift. Relax your face for one more breath in. Hover your top leg, tap the toes behind you, lift the pelvis. Find Gyan Mudra, connect right pointer finger, right thumb. As you exhale, seat hovers. Your right arm can tap top of the right knee. Inhale, rise. Breath and movement. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. All right, scoot back onto your mat. Don't lose your focus. As you arrange your feet, keep the right foot on the ground, angle the right toes out slightly. Both sit bones connect, left fingertips tent behind you, right arm to the sky. Let's hook up with our breath all together, breathing in. And then exhale, tip forward. Reach forward with your right arm, and then, flirt with the bind. Maybe it's not there today. Lift your heart, spine is long. As you exhale, forward and down with your chest. Keep your left leg awake. You might have a soft bend in the knee, the toes bright. Stay for one more breath and feel where your breath goes. So that's your focus, you're breathing. You're alive, what a gift. Look forward with your eyes and your heart. Undo your bind, bring your hands behind you, altar pose. Put it all on the altar. Inhale, lift up. As you breathe out. Sink your seat down, get back on your boat. It's your last journey. It's your last journey at sea. Lift your sternum. Maybe the arms stretch all the way up, but plug the shoulders down. Maybe the legs lengthen. Can you breathe? Your fullest expression of any posture is where you can breathe. For one more, inhale. Exhale, rock forward and back, Utkatasana. Nobody forgets what that one is. It's chair pose, top of the mat, feet to the ground, deep bend in the knees. So sit the butt back and down. And as you reach the arms up, Gyan Mudra. These are the moments we've been training for. Let the front ribs gather in. Tailbone is long. Set your gaze. Stand on your left foot. Bring your right knee into your chest. Find your breath and then tree pose. Vrikshasana. Right foot to inner left leg. Maybe you grow your branches wider this time. Your perspective wider. Your sight clear. Pointer finger and thumb tip touch. Representing this connection between our personal experience and the universal experience. And man, isn't that so present right now? For one more breath. Full waist, wide breath. Exhale, curtsy. Right foot behind you. Bow the heart, chest low. Hands to the ground. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. Breathe in. Left foot steps outside your left hand. Breathe out. Squat. Right foot steps outside your right hand. Seat low. Now find your breath in and your breath out. Lengthening the right arm long inside the right leg so you get that leverage. As you tent the fingers, press the inner knee into the upper arm to twist. Left arm opens. Think right rib cage to left. Take a half bind, left arm behind your back. Right arm wraps around the front shin as you look down. Now as we get fancy, don't lose your breath. Heel toe your left foot toward the center of you, and then lift your butt and your right heel a little bit. As you press the weight into your left foot, think inner left heel presses, tailbone toward your inner left heel, so that when you stand up, the weight of the tailbone lengthens the very top of your noggin. Remember, tree pose is a great option, or right hand to right shin. Whichever place the body is in, open your collarbones, and here, feel that subtle vibration of your breath. That's like the energy of Kali. It's so powerful and potent. It sneaks up on you sometimes. Take another breath in. As you exhale, bend your left knee and tip your butt bones back slightly to bring your right foot all the way down to the ground. Back to squat, close the eyes, hallelujah, breath in through the nose, sigh out through the mouth. Let's meet in down dog. You can hop back, step back, crawl back, slither back. Honor your energy. Right leg to the sky, breathe in. Step your right foot forward between your thumbs. And then pyramid pose. So hop your back foot in just an inch or two. Enough that you can seal your back heel down. Left toes angle to the top left corner of the mat. Tent your fingers or find your blocks or books as you lengthen your spine. Inhale. As you exhale, think forward and down. Let your outer right hip carve back behind you and drop your head off. Drop your head off. You can pick it up later. Breathe. Lengthen your spine, standing split. Soften a little bit into your right knee as you transition to lift your left leg behind you. Let's all take a halfway lift, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, bowed fold. With your left leg lifted, think the inseam of your pants is what's lifting up to the sky, keeping the pelvis neutral. Legs are so engaged, but the torso pours out of the pelvis. So see, you're dynamic. You can embody this energy of strength and focus, but also ease and peace. Take one more halfway lift, breathe in. And then seated twist, snuggle your left knee outside your right ankle. As you sit your seat down, you might need to adjust by picking your hips up to the left, set them down a little bit, so both sit bones really connect. Tent your right fingertips behind you and take your left arm up to the sky. Let's all breathe in together. We're doing this together. Twist to your right, breathe out. You can hug your right knee, or you can weave the elbow to the outer thigh. Wherever you are, close your eyeballs. So you go back to this internal landscape. And here, I love this posture as a way to really observe the breath. We'll stay for one more full round, in and out, unhurried, unrushed. As you inhale, look forward. Reach your arms straight up. You're facing forward. Breathe in. And then take a droopy, swoopy bow over to the other side. Don't worry about it, what it looks like. Just let it all hang out. Altar pose, hands behind you. You know we've got a lion's breath. Inhale, lift up. Stick out the tongue. Sink your seat to the ground. It's your last vinyasa if you'd like it. Crossing the shins, rock forward, and meet us with your hips high. And then recommit, because this is really what it's all about, moment to moment.
navigate your circumstances. Left leg to the sky, inhale. Step your foot forward between your thumbs. Pyramid pose. So stepping that right foot slightly forward, it's like a short warrior one stance. Toes angle out. As you start to lengthen both legs, take a halfway lift and really extend, telescope your spine forward, and then bow as you breathe out. So you're not just folding in half, but you're keeping all of that length to receive the intelligence, the wisdom of your prana. And, these quiet, small things, the small things are the big things, right? Your breath, sometimes quiet, it seems so subtle, but it is your life force. It has that same Maha energy of Kali Ma. For one more breath in. And full breath out. Look forward, soften your left knee just a little bit, standing split, right leg long behind you. Feel the inseam of the right pants draw up. Even a little lift of your right kneecap. So you can really empty the spine out of the pelvis. Even move your head around a little bit this time. Shake your head no. Shake your head yes. Maybe you shake your head hell no and hell yes. Whatever's reality for you, well, that's the teacher. Take a halfway lift. Breathe in. Seated twist. Slow you go. So you can really kind of fit yourself together well. Seat to the ground. Scoot your hips a bump over to your right so your left sit bone can also find the ground. And then the left arm will tent behind you. Really press the fingers. Find a block or the ground as you stretch the right arm straight up. Big breath in. And then exhale to twist. The left arm behind you is like a second spine. So press that down to remind your real spine to grow. And close your eyeballs. Track the elevator of your breath. Right, so on the inhale, there's this sort of upward current of energy. And the exhale, grounding, stabilizing. One more time. Look forward. Unravel your twist. Stretch your arms straight up. Breathe in. Droopy, swoopy bow to the other side as if your third eye was almost going to kiss the ground. And then let it all unravel. Altar pose. Feet in front of you. Hands behind you. Lift your pelvis in line with your knees. Lion's breath out the mouth. Sink your seat down to the ground and lengthen your legs in front of you. Start to make your way all the way onto your back, and if you want a little extra challenge, you could stretch your arms forward, flex your feet, and slowly let the tailbone curl toward the heels as you make your way all the way onto your back, and then when you're over it, you just plop on down. Okay, land in your body, take a breath. Commit to staying totally here for our last few moments together as you bend your knees and bring your feet to the ground. If you have a yoga block nearby, you could get it set up for a supported bridge. Or for a little more efforting, keep your block off to the side, and as you lengthen your arms by your sides, press your palms to face open. So you get a little extra opening across the chest. And first we'll breathe in. Breathe into your lower back, so you haven't quite moved yet. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press your feet down and start to lift your hips for bridge pose. Lift your bridge. Yes, draw a bridge, draw it up. Let the pubic bone lift straight up and think that the tailbone reaches to your inner knees. Now don't look around. Keep your gaze straight ahead, straight forward up to the sky, the ceiling. And feel how the chin moves slightly into the throat, and this is the wisdom of the body. Keeps a containment of the prana circulating through you for one more breath. Tailbone long, inner thighs wrap down. As you exhale from the top of your spine to the bottom, slowly lower. So you can feel each bone This is an awareness practice. And as you start to get to the base of your spine, think that your sit bones reach toward your heels. Lay the lower back down, close your eyes, and let's take a breath together. Fill your back body so you can feel more of your mat underneath you. And as you breathe out, press your feet for bridge pose. Relax your shoulders. And as you feel your tailbone growing long, feel like your inner knees grow long forward in front of you. But then your heels magnetize toward your shoulder blades. So you light up the back chain of the body, your legs work, your glutes work, all these big, powerful muscles, powerful warrior. One more breath. Slowly lower. Like a string of pearls laying the spine down, drawing the sit bones toward the heels. Pause, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then let your arms either halo overhead, or you can bring a bend in the elbows like cactus arms. As you scoot your hips to the right, eagle your right leg on top of your left. Take a twist. Let the knees fall to the left. I invite you here to close your eyes and start to tune more into your senses. So take in the sounds around you. I see some of you are practicing outside, so beautiful. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. And even with your eyes closed, notice the color. Notice what you see, the color in the back of the eyelids. Tuning into now and all these precious gifts. This moment is the altar. Start to unravel your legs. Scoot your feet and hips back through center and pause there. So don't just rush off to the other side. Take a moment to let one thing complete. What does that feel like? Hips to the left. Eagle the left leg over and let the knees fall to the right. And again, close your eyes. Go inward. Go inward as a way to be aware of what's outward, what's around you. Two more breaths. Let your last exhale completely dissolve as you then untangle your legs, feet to the ground. Bring your pelvis back through center and start to lengthen your legs long on your mat. Starting to get yourself set up for this final resting place. Shavasana with the legs long, and again the palms resting open. You can even let your feet flop out so the legs are totally relaxed. Make sure you're warm enough. Make sure you set yourself up for success because you've taken everything into account. You are prepared for this. Let's take a collective breath together all around the globe. We're breathing in. Open the mouth, exhale. Shavasana. don't move yet, but take a breath that fills you. Take a breath that moves you. So you feel the little ribs, little movements of the ribs, the belly, the skin expand. Soft sigh out the mouth, as you exhale. And then move a little bit. Fingers and toesies. Circle the wrists, circle the ankles. And if it feels natural to draw your arms long overhead and take a big morning stretch, then go ahead, you do you. Move, breathe, stretch. You can climb your knees into your chest and rock your way right up to sit, or rock over to one side, and we'll meet in our final posture, seated. So please set this up just as you would with such care and attention. You're sitting in a way that embodies wakefulness. And curling the pointer finger in to touch the thumb in this connection of personal and universal. And the great cycle of all things. Let the eyes close down, continuing to turn inward as this is the space of your refuge. That no matter what comes your way, you have the tools. As Rolf says, there will be a moment when I can make a choice out of my conditioned reactivity, or I can make a choice that I have practiced. A choice that reflects my highest aspirations, my core values and beliefs. And the more you show up to yourself in this way, the more this becomes a habit. And the other huge gift of this practice is that it's so generous, and no matter how far away from it you get, how far away from yourself you might get, practice is always here for you, saying, come back, come back. Sometimes it's fierce, kick in the butt like Kali energy, but remember, it's that tough love, the place of the heart. We'll chant together. You can listen or try and join in with me. Let's take a breath in. And a breath out. Press together, this uniting of all parts of yourself. And take a moment to offer some gratitude for you taking the time to be with you. I thank you so much for making your practice a priority. Namaste.